Hello again, welcome to the Poor.Rich Hard channel. Here we're gonna do some social commentary and do some self-improvement. Now, as you're on your self-improvement journey and you're trying to develop yourself, you're trying to become better, you're gonna run into some haters. You will. It's part of the game. It's part of life. You're gonna have critics, you're gonna have haters, man. Just straight haters. And my little series I'm gonna do on the types of haters. I'm going to deal with the first hater today. And the first type of hater you got to watch out for is the old hater. The old hater. You see, many old people, they pretty much wasted their lives when they were young. They chased vanity. They weren't serious. They weren't disciplined. They didn't have certain insights. They ignored what their elders were telling them. And now that they're old and they see you as a young person getting your act together, doing what you're supposed to do, handling your business properly, they're going to hate on you, man. They're going to say things or even try to directly sabotage you because what they're seeing is who they could have been. And they know deep in their heart that by the time you reach their age, you'll be further than they are right now. They spent their youth living it up, running from different vanities, and they weren't taking things serious. They weren't saving their money, keeping their finances together. They weren't handling their relationships right. They're probably running all over the place, dating this person, dating that person, not really building anything. Not really holding down a job, seeking a career, getting their education together. None of that. They just were living for the moment, which a lot of our generation, the younger people, are doing as well. And when these old people finally get older and they realize that they don't have much time left, or that they didn't take advantage of most of the opportunities that were before them, and they turn around and see you young, you're 10, 15, 20 years younger than they are, and you're going at a much faster pace than they were when they were your age, they're going to hate on you, man. They're going to hate on you, right? They're going to try to downplay your success. They'll tell you that, oh, all that stuff's not necessary and you don't need to save that money because the whole market, the whole system is rigged against you. And, you got to watch out in these relationships because you're just going to end up getting divorced anyway and whatnot. They're just trying to project all the negativity that all the negativity that they're going through on you. And I'm here to tell you that all of that's crap. Right? You don't have to fall victim to anything that they say. You're on the right path. You're moving properly. That's why you're listening to this channel, because you're going in the right direction. And you don't want any of these old haters to sort of look down on you. A lot of times I'll be hearing, the dialogue going back and forth between the millennials and the baby boomers and Gen Y and all these different generations sort of criticizing each other. And the older heads sort of talk down to the younger people and say, oh, they're lazy and they're not doing much. And some of the criticism is, there's some truth to it. At the same time, however, you have to wonder how that younger generation got the way they did. A bad example was set by the older generation. And we have to watch out for when criticism comes from the older generation. Just because someone's older than you doesn't necessarily mean they're smarter than you. When I was a child, I used to look at all the adults as, oh my gosh, all these adults, they got all their stuff together. They're moving good. All these adults are so smart, because I was a kid. I didn't know anything. I was like 4, 5, 6 years old. I didn't know nothing. But when I grew up and I became an adult and I really started to reflect back on all the adults I grew up around, I'm like, yo, this person and that person really screwed up their life. When you look at, how your family structure is and how many baby mamas this uncle or that aunt has, and you're like, yo, they made some really bad decisions, honestly. And then when they turn around and look how you're moving, they'll say things to sort of disparage you. Why? Because they've become an old hater. An old hater. And you don't want to become an old hater either. That's why you want to make sure you spend your youth, you spend your young days doing the right thing. You make sure you save your money, right? You make sure you invest from now, since you're young, right? Study investing. You make sure that you choose the right partners to have a relationship with. Oh, and you make sure you take care of your body. You make sure you hit that gym and you control that diet. There's a lot of old haters in the gym. I mean, I have some gym videos I'm going to do anyway later, but there's a lot of old haters in the gym, man. A lot of young people, they get into physical fitness very young and they take advantage of their youth to train harder and to train smarter. And there's a lot of people that come to the gym, God bless them, but they're older and they can't perform at the same level as some of the young people because their body won't allow them to. And a lot of times they hate on the youth. They come and they say things that are unnecessary, or they try to distract you from your workout. Why? Because, it's not that they have anything important to say necessarily. It's just that they're just indirectly hating on you, man. There's a lot of old folks that are just haters. They're haters because they know they didn't handle their youth properly. So the first hater to watch out for is the old hater, man. When you have an old person giving you certain criticisms or giving you certain advice, you really want to take it with a grain of salt. You really want to analyze where the motive of their comments is coming from, because sometimes they may sound like they're for you. They may sound like they're giving you good advice, but really the motive deep down inside is they're trying to indirectly criticize you or discourage you for going where you're supposed to go. So I'm going to continue this series, but the first person you got to watch out for in this haters list is the old hater. The old hater. Thanks for tuning in to the Poor, Rich, Hard show. Please like, share, and subscribe. God bless.